The Clery Act, created by Claire Collins. What is the Clery Act? The Clery Act requires that all colleges and universities that participate in a federal financial aid program must disclose information about campus crime and crimes occurring near the campus. The U.S. Department of Education monitors such compliance. If colleges and universities do not comply, they can be fined up to $35,000 per violation. If colleges and universities do not comply, they can also be removed from receiving federal financial aid. Now, what this means basically is that pretty much every college and university at this point is subject to following the Clery Act, and that the U.S. Department of Education does really have the ability to monitor almost every college and university in the United States with the Clery Act. What type of information is your university or college required to disclose? Well, they have to have an annual security report, and it's due every October 1st. It provides information for the previous 3 years. It has all of the crimes listed, the statistics, aggravated assault, non-aggravated assault, simple break-ins, theft is recorded, major crimes like guns on campus, things of that nature are all recorded and are available for public access. If students have questions, they can usually obtain a copy of this report either at their campus police office or through the Dean of Students' office at their university or college. A crime log also has to be kept. Now, this is a little different than the annual security report in that it's the most recent 60 days worth of crime committed. It's maintained by campus police and security. Again, if a student would like this information, it is public record, so they can go and request the crime log. Universities and colleges are also required to have a timely warning system. This is a system to notify faculty, staff, and students that there is an emergency on campus. Sam Houston State University has a system in place called CatSafe, and when the system is activated, students get an email, a text message, a phone call, and all of the campus computers on campus flash a screen saying that there is a CatSafe warning and what type of alert it is. Now, an interesting thing is that most of the penalties assigned to universities and colleges at this point from the Clery Act has little to do with missing priority deadlines and things of that nature. Usually it has to do with the timely warning system. For instance, Penn State was fined for not sending out an update about the Penn State sexual abuse scandal. This might seem like a minor thing, maybe something that doesn't need to be promoted via email or text message, but the U.S. Department of Education felt that it should have gone out, and Penn State actually did have to pay a fine for that. Another instance is in the Virginia Tech shootings. Originally, the U.S. Department of Education said that staff members at the university had not done their due diligence in sending out a timely warning notification. If you'll remember, at Virginia Tech, there were 2 instances of gunfire across campus from each other. Now, Virginia Tech was actually successful in overturning this fine because it happened in 2 locations. An update went out within 5 minutes of the initial shooting before the Norris Hall shooting, which is where the majority of those casualties and injuries took place. And it was later ruled by a judge that receiving an email or a text message would maybe not have been enough warning for that type of mass casualty and injury incident. Another thing that universities are required to disclose is their crime statistics. Basically, that means, how many students per year suffer injury in a crime. This doesn't count injuries obtained, stubbing your toe, things like that. So this would have to be a violent injury. How many times is hazing counts in this? Hazing can be reported. Harassment. Violent and nonviolent crimes alike are reported. It is generally found within universities and community college systems of higher education. The number one crime reported is usually theft. Traditionally speaking, there are not that many reported violent crimes. Now, of course, one of the issues with crime statistics in the past is that many violent crimes especially go unreported, such as in violent rape cases. We do know that many of these crimes go unreported, and it is the hope of campus security that students feel safe enough to report these crimes, not only so that students can seek the appropriate resources, but so that we do have a clearer understanding of what crime looks like on our respective campuses. And that's really what the Clery Act is for, is to accurately divulge information regarding the safety of your learning environment. Now, we are very lucky at Sam Houston State. We do have a very safe campus, so that's always really, really great. But things like the Clery Act are put in place so that students know as much as possible, so that they are well informed, and so that they can take the appropriate measures to maintain their personal safety.